Welcome to Tech Wins the Day, your AI and tech briefing for Wednesday, August 12th, 2026. Today's episode is brought to you by InvestorNader.com, empowering you with the playbooks of legendary investors, and by GetCandid.tech, which helps you know if your audience is actually engaged with your presentation. Let's get into it. We're starting today with the big one. Everyone in New York is watching. Google is holding its Made by Google event later today, kicking off at 6 p.m. Eastern. This is where the Pixel 11 family gets its big reveal. The standard Pixel 11, the Pixel 11 Pro, the Pro XL, and the Pixel 11 Pro Fold, all expected to run on Google's new Tensor G6 chip. We're also expecting the Pixel Watch 5, but the real story might be software, not hardware. Google is expected to debut what it's calling Gemini Intelligence, baked right into the Pixel 11, an assistant that can actually go do things for you, like booking an Uber or making a restaurant reservation, without you touching another app. Trevor Noah is hosting, and yes, there's a celebrity guest list, including Steph Curry. Quick word from our sponsor. If you've ever wanted to invest like the greats without spending years reverse engineering their strategies, check out InvestorNader.com. It packages the playbooks of legendary investors into something you can actually use. Now, back to the news. Meanwhile, over at OpenAI, there's a genuinely wild story that dropped a few days ago and is still making waves. OpenAI says an internal, not yet released model called Astra has solved 10 previously unsolved problems in math and theoretical computer science, some of them open for decades. That includes settling a long-standing question about something called non-sophic groups, a puzzle mathematicians have been chewing on since the late 90s. OpenAI published a 249-page manuscript along with fully machine-verified proofs on GitHub. And here's the kicker. They say the entire compute cost to generate all 10 solutions was around $2,000. Researcher Noam Brown called it a major step for scientific reasoning, and it's hard to disagree. In other news, Meta is going in a very different direction, smaller and more local. This week, Meta released a new open-weight model called MuseGlimmer, 30 billion parameters, but built to run entirely on a single consumer graphics card. Compressed down to about 20 gigabytes, it can fit on a decent Mac or PC, and Meta says it decodes over 3 times faster than comparable models. The pitch here is agents that run locally on your own machine instead of phoning home to the cloud, which is a meaningful shift if you care about privacy, latency, or just not paying for cloud compute every time your assistant does something. Before we move on, a word from GetCandid.tech. If you're putting together presentations for investors, your team, or a room full of strangers, GetCandid.tech tells you whether your audience is actually engaged, not just politely nodding. Worth a look before your next big pitch. Also today, Intel made a big financial move. The chipmaker announced a $15 billion stock offering reportedly its first public equity raise since it went public back in 1971. The money's earmarked for capital spending, including its next-generation 14A manufacturing process and deals tied to building custom silicon for partners like Tesla. Intel stock has nearly tripled so far this year, outperforming both AMD and Nvidia, though shares dipped a bit on the news of the new offering, as these things tend to do. And rounding things out, regulation caught up with the industry this month too. The European Union's AI Act moved into a new enforcement phase on August 2nd, meaning high-risk AI systems now face real requirements around risk management and human oversight. And chatbots across the EU have to clearly disclose that you're talking to AI. Companies that don't comply are looking at fines up to 15 million euros, or 3% of global revenue, whichever is bigger. It's a good reminder that as fast as these models are moving, regulators are trying to keep pace right alongside them. That's Tech Wins the Day for August 12th, 2026. Brought to you by InvestorNader.com and GetCandid.tech. Talk to you tomorrow.